Delta Region Transit and my made-up subway map are actually two different rapid transit systems. They actually have two separate areas which will be built their own metro system. But between these two, I don't even know which one is the best. So then today we're going to be comparing the Delta Region Transit game in Roblox vs my custom Bearyland Metro map. So let's get started. The Delta Region Transit actually just focus on medium rail size rail network. It focuses on the gameplay rather than the full city coverage. And also, it spans over 4 MRT lines and overall few stations in the network. But in the Bearyland MRT that I've made, it actually spans over 140 stations across 6 lines, which is a very large and dense metro system with LRT lines, and they have an extensive citywide coverage shown on the map. So overall, this point goes to the Bearyland MRT. Sometimes, the passenger numbers actually depend on how many players are online for the Delta Region Transit, but sometimes their trains can be a bit empty sometimes in the train in the Delta Region Transit in Roblox, which is actually very unrated game in my opinion, which is actually that's why it's very small compared to making it. The ridership in the Bearyland MRT was designed for heavy, constant daily ridership, but the trains were very busy and the stations, especially at the interchange stations. So the ridership category, the point will go to the Bearyland MRT. The train frequency can actually sometimes require varies depending on the player activity or the scripts in the game. Well, anyways, they also has less predictable headways in the Delta Region Transit in Roblox. Well, anyways, because the frequency actually, this game is actually underrated, and only some people in the game only played this train game in Roblox. But in Bearyland, they have really high frequency service, especially during its peak hours. It's reliable and they have regular train arrivals. So overall, this point goes to the Bearyland MRT. In the Delta region, they actually have basic safety systems, aka signals/doors in this area, which is actually a really unsafe game in my opinion, because they don't even have any people around, and it's kind of feel a bit, and also they have limited enforcement because it is just a game. Well, in Bearyland MRT, they have all stations actually have platform screen doors, emergency equipment, and very strict safety rules. They actually have a strong safety culture similar to its own real-world systems. So this point will go to the Bearyland MRT as well. Alright, so the Delta Region Transit forces a clean environment actually by default, but it's actually not even realistic cleanliness in very details. But in the Bearyland MRT, they have very clean stations and trains, strong emphasis on maintenance and passenger behavior. And so overall, this point will actually go to the Bearyland MRT. In my opinion, the train interiors in the Delta Region Transit were actually simplified interiors for their performance and their gameplay, but they also have limited signage and seating details. Let's just say in this line, they actually only have dark blue seats. But in the Bearyland MRT, they have detailed interiors with route maps, priority seating, and they also have handrails like all trains did. It's very consistent, and also they have realistic train designs. So I'll give this point to my custom Bearyland MRT. The announcements in the Delta Region Transit may actually have a reliable thing on the transit line. So here, let me gameplay the announcements for you.
Next station, Marble Avenue. The train is about to depart. Please stand clear of the train doors. This is a Delta Line train service to Delta. Next station, Marble Avenue. Please change it for the Harbour Line.
In my
This
opinion,
train service terminates
because
at Delta.
Delta Region Transit actually have basic or optional stations announcements and may rely on text or simple
We are now
audio.
approaching Marble Avenue.
The
Doors will
thing
open
is,
on the
right,
right.
the announcements
Please mind the
are
gap.
very clear in the transit systems.
Delta.
But in Bearyland, they have really clear automated announcements for stations, transfers, and own safety, and plus they have multi-line and interchange guidance. So we'll give this point to the Bearyland MRT. So the interchanges in the Delta Region Transit, they actually have limited number of interchange stations. But let me show you here. I have the gameplay inside. So they actually have so simple interchange lines. Let me take a look. So you actually can straight away go onto the area in the Delta Region Transit, which is pretty straightforward, and it is actually not even and it's also even that basic as well. So that's not even that cool at all. But the interchange in Bearyland, they have many well-planned interchange hubs, and their transfers are pretty straightforward between multiple lines. So this point gives to the Bearyland MRT again. So the expansion plans for the Delta Region Transit, do you know these kind of expansions depend on the developer updates in this game? Because this is actually a game, not a real made up system. But the new lines may take a really long time or stop entirely, which means they actually just try and stop creating more lines in this game. Bearyland MRT's expansion plans clearly plan future extensions and new lines in the future, which they have is the Island line and also the teal line, which is the Jurong Region line, which is custom made. So I will also give this point to the Bearyland MRT as well. Unfortunately, the fares in the Delta Region Transit, they are so basic. There's actually no ticket gates. There's actually no fare gates. You actually just simply enter in like this. That was actually basic, but I don't know why the Delta Region Transit even create railways like this. The fares in the Bearyland MRT actually have the distance-based fares like in the real world, but you just still need to pay, and the gate systems are also paid if you use a card. So this point will go to the Delta Region Transit in Roblox. So for the overall winner, I think the Bearyland MRT deserves to have the winner of this competition. It actually has a really good system, clean trains, and more. Oh, and don't forget, I'll see you all guys in the next video. Goodbye, guys.